Welcome. I am here with Sue Reardon, co-founder and community connector at Suite Spotte in Forest Park and LaGrange, Illinois, which is both are just outside of Chicago. And I was just saying that I can't believe we haven't done this. You're
Yeah.
going to really enjoy Sue's story. And I've known you for a while now because you've been in our operator mastermind. So I'm so excited to dig in and share your story. Thanks for doing this.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I really am thrilled. I'm just delighted to do it. Hopefully, my story will be interesting. To me, it's
You're totally
just
interesting.
the whole thing, the whole part of it. This is life.
I
Right
know.
with it.
Okay, so I do a little Googling and
Ah,
you could well, but yeah, I can't remember why I was Googling, but you're one of seven, or do you have seven siblings?
I am one of seven,
Okay.
and my
I did.
husband's one of 14.
Oh my gosh.
So we have this enormous family, my sons, and we have two boys, two sons
Yeah.
who are adults now, and three grandchildren, little boys. And it's massive, just massive.
That's
So
wild.
it's fun. It's fun.
Your
It means
husband
too.
also, you grew up in the
In
Chicago
Chicago,
area.
we're both
Yeah.
city people.
Okay. Poor
Yeah.
thing. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Pretty
Okay.
crazy. Those were
Yes.
the days.
Okay, so I love the little insight into your childhood. Like, your mom went back to school or back to work after having seven kids. And so everybody's kind of doing their thing and very Chicago like work ethic,
Yeah.
how I think of the Midwest. So
Wow, you went deep.
I know, well, I can't remember where the article was. I was like, "Ooh, this is so good."
Oh my
I
gosh, that has
know.
to
I
be
don't
a
usually
while
get to
ago.
get so personal. So, okay, so I remember bits of this, but it's going to be so fun to hear it again. Tell us about your background and how you came to start Sweet Spot.
Okay. Okay. Well, I've had a long career and it's basically been focused on the people side. I've always enjoyed the people side of business. I find it fascinating meeting new people. I'm all about encouraging people to be the best that they can be and to play to their strengths and, continue to learn and grow because that's kind of how I am. I like lifelong learning and I'm a change addict. So I like a lot of
Ah, you
change
and I
as
have
far
that
as
in
that
common.
goes.
Yes.
Oh, unbelievable.
I would change
Unbelievable.
things all the time, except my husband would like lose his mind. I would lose a husband, actually.
Well, anytime I would throw it out to my husband what I wanted to do next, he'd be like, "You're going to do that next year, right? This isn't just a casual conversation we're having here. You're planning this." And I said, "You may be right. You may be right about that." So it's just fun. But most of my corporate career was, doing HR roles. Oh God, chief learning officer, that type of thing. And in the 1990s, I got more into an entrepreneur. I had a great opportunity to join as a partner to a startup technology services company in Chicago. And we grew it over the years into a public company and had taken it public and swear to this day I would never do that
Do that
again.
again. Oh,
It's public, the whole new ball game
yeah.
when you're dealing with that. But it was a great experience, wonderful people. After that, after I had left there in the 2000s, then it was my husband is an artist and loves music, jazz, particularly Chicago jazz. How can you go wrong? Chicago
Mhm.
blues, how
Yes.
can you miss it?
Mhm.
So, and my brother is a chef. So I said, okay, what are we going to do? What's next? And so with them, we opened a decorative art gallery and midday cafe with a jazz and blues cabaret in a mixed use building that we bought in downtown LaGrange,
Oh my gosh.
Illinois, which 15 miles outside of the city, Chicago. So that was great. In the building, there were four small apartments above. It was one of the old vintage buildings. Four small apartments on the second floor. We decided, one of my, what do you think if we did this? And we converted the second floor, which is about 4,000 square feet, to a residential loft. And I proceeded to move everybody into that space. So my husband and the two boys, we became downtown LaGrange residents. So that was pretty fun, in this amazing loft right in the middle of downtown LaGrange. people didn't know what to think. And it was a lot of fun, it was something new. And then as we were, the business was going along, we were having some fun with it. Then the Great Recession came. And it was like, okay, what do we do now? We owned the building. We were owner occupied as well. So what we decided to do was as things were really starting to look funky, we kept the commercial kitchen and the prep area and the downstairs cafe and rented the front of the space to an art gallery, local art gallery and framing company. So we were able to split it up into a couple of spaces, and we launched an online cookie company in New York. That we went to the fancy food show. I don't know, you just do stuff. Went to the fancy food show in New York, and
You just do stuff. I know. That's so funny.
it is one of those things. You just go, how do I do this? And they say, well, you got to go to the fancy food show. And I knew some other people and dear friends that are in the packaging business. They gave me ideas and thought, and we did it. Ignorance is bliss. So we went forward with it and, got through that. And then at the same time, I launched a small business coaching practice. So really focusing on the tiny micropreneurs, with that. And as I was doing that for a few years, I had some of my clients say, hey, Sue, you should write a book. And so I was like, hmm. And then I finally did sit down a tiny, tiny, tiny book, and it's called Rock a Million Manifesto for the Gutsy Micropreneur. And it's basically just a call to action to small business owners to shift the way they think about their businesses and to stop trying to be, to be the only person in your business and do everything and perfect everything, on their own, that you needed to go out there. Now, at the same time, the sharing economy was becoming a big thing. So, Airbnb was all over the place. Co-working was starting to be talked about more. And I had started using co-working for my coaching business in the city. So I'd take the train from LaGrange to go because there weren't any, at that. And I was like, as I'm writing the book, I'm like, yeah, there needs to be a co-working space. Also, at the same time, my kids were growing up. We were becoming on the verge of becoming empty nesters. So I said, okay, what if we convert the loft into we took the building and basically converted it into 2 commercial condos units, and we turned the loft upstairs into a commercial space, and Suite Spotte was born there.
Okay,
And
so
downstairs we
you used
sold.
to live in Suite Spotte.
We used to live in that space.
Oh,
It is, you can't, you'd be, people come in and they're just like, weren't you on the house? Wasn't this space on the house walk years ago? And I'm like, yeah, it was. It's great. It's kind of funny. We were in a Midwest Homes magazine because it was very unique, very unusual. Suite Spotte is, and still feels it. We still have a lot of the elements, design elements that were there, We laugh because, the kitchen is still the kitchen, and everybody's like, why would you put this kind of money into your kitchen? And Suite Spotte
uh-huh.
didn't. I didn't. Had to turn off some of the things. We have a beautiful stainless steel spear hanging wood burning fireplace in this space that turns 360 degrees. So it's great fun.
Oh
It's
my
great fun.
gosh. I don't think I've ever
So
seen that in your photos.
yeah, it's got character. It's got there's
Yeah.
some out there. We've used it quite a bit in the past. So, we were doing a lot of that type of thing. Had sold off downstairs, didn't have to worry about that. And 2 years later, I'm co-founder because I have a partner who has become very silent and more of an investor, I would say, than anything. And but he built out the 2 locations. He
Okay.
had a general contracting firm, so
Oh,
and a woodworking company. So it was just perfect.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to the format of our calls because how did I not know any of this?
Because I don't get on the calls and start going, well, how
I
about
know.
this?
I know. These are such good nuggets. Everybody in the group's gonna like love listening to this episode because it's behind the scenes with Sue. This is so
It's just
fascinating.
bizarre. It's so bizarre. It just is just that kind of a thing. You see something, you do something. I learn by I'm so curious. And that's what Jamie, that's what I love about the mastermind group that you had, everything co-working group, because some of it may not be relevant to what I can do or my location,
Hmm.
my people. And so but nuggets,
Yeah.
as
And
you said,
just
nuggets.
knowing, right, you know what? I'm kind of like that too. Right. Like just what are other people doing? What's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Okay. So this is so interesting. So how did you end up? So you have two locations and
yeah.
Forest Park is more office based. So very different. Well, I'll let you sort of describe them, but my impression is very different than the I used to live in this space.
Yeah, I know. And people wouldn't
Mm.
normally know it, but there's a vibe. There's
But I
there's
also feel like like that's part of your brand and part of what
it
people
is.
love is it. And I also love, I was just kind of looking at some of the language you use. Like you talk about like it's a productive space,
Yeah.
but it's for you, it is a blend. I mean,
It's
you
very much a blend.
like a true blend because you really love people, as you've said, but also people are there to work. So yeah, I would love to. Well, tell us first about Forest Park and then we'll kind of dive into
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So when I first thought about doing this, I'm a small business coach. Of course, I had to have a plan. So had a business plan, had three locations in the plan.
Okay.
The third one was going to be in the Downers Grove area. Forest Park was going to be Oak Park area because I didn't know that much about what was going on. We had a lot of friends in Oak Park, but didn't
Yeah.
know. And we started pretty soon after we opened LaGrange, December 2nd, 2014. And we started looking soon after, within the next year. And it was difficult, very difficult to find what we were looking for.
Yep.
And Oak Parks can be a little bit different. I couldn't get I couldn't get the right space. I just couldn't find it. But in Forest Park on Madison Street, which is right in downtown Forest Park, basically, it's where the heart of everything happens in Forest Park. And Forest Park was changing. It felt like, early days of LaGrange becoming a
Yeah.
vibrant community. Forest Park was working at that. And I had this first floor space that, 5,700 square feet. And I was like, this is it. This is what I have to do. And I had some friends that own a business in town. Shout out to Team Blonde in Forest Park. Wonderful women. And we met, so funny. We met in the coffee shop that they had at the time, and a blizzard started. And so the wind is blowing, there's snow just beating on us. And we're standing in front of a Forest Park building going, yeah, yeah. And they're like, yeah, you need to get this is where you belong. It was so funny. And it was just meant to happen. It was, it was great, but it took 2 years, 2 years to get the landlord to see the light. The had to be
I'm used
rezoned.
to it taking a year, but
Uh,
2 years.
two
Oh, it had to
years.
be rezoned.
We had
Wow.
to we kept on coming back, but the landlord had a different idea about it. And we were
Yeah.
like, no,
Yeah.
no. And so,
You wore him
we're
down.
we're all on we're all on the same page now. He's been wonderful the last
Oh,
few years.
good.
But it's we had the mayor involved at the time. We had Bridget, who was the development person, the community development person that they
Mm-hmm.
had before. She was a huge advocate. She's the one that came after me and said, "Why don't you go to Forest Park?" And I said, "I'm trying to." And she got the ball rolling again
Oh,
for us.
nice.
So yeah, so all of us met at LaGrange in the conference room, and they're like, we're doing this. Mayor went off and took it to the board. broker, and
Wow.
the whole thing went off, and we cut a deal and signed it. It was effective January 1st, 2017.
Okay. Got it.
So
Yeah, I mean, so
Forest Park.
you're over 10 years in LaGrange and
Yeah, it'll be 11 December
yeah,
2nd.
and then
Yeah.
getting there, get closer in Forest Park.
Yeah.
Okay. And did you intentionally go more office heavy in Forest Park
Yes,
or okay.
because that was what co-working was doing, with that. And the space was a former women's clinic.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
but it had been abandoned, if you will. They moved out.
Yep.
For 4 years. It was empty. And then what a polar vortex thing that we
Oh my
had,
gosh, yes.
it flooded. I mean, we had to strip it completely, but it had frames for private offices along a whole section. So we
Oh,
could see
interesting.
it.
Yeah.
We could see what we could do. And that's what we did. So we went
Okay.
private office with a
Okay.
lot of them. And I still have I got a lot of open space, for I have dedicated desks. I have
Oh,
front of the space has we call them frequent spotters,
yep.
for the shared flex desks, and
Okay.
that.
Got
So
it.
meditation room, big conference room, seats 18.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because LaGrange had a max at 8.
Yep.
So I did 18 and did huddle rooms.
Okay.
So
18 was bold in that time. Have you seen increased demand post-pandemic?
we have
Okay.
starting to see more of that. 18 is still, it doesn't have to, but I get a lot of people that'll book it for 4 people and they love it.
Oh,
I'm like,
interesting. They could
I'm
like
like, okay,
relapse in
cool.
there all to themselves.
They have I have a table in there that my co-founder had built for it, custom built wood table.
As
We
in
were
it's never
talking about
leaving
that
yeah.
in one of the sessions. That's
That's
exactly it.
that's right.
And you know what, Jamie? This thing, we were laughing when it was set up. We're like, this is the Last Supper.
Right.
This
It's
table
long.
just,
Yeah.
oh, it's just a big oval table. It's beautiful, but
Yeah.
we just laugh. It's like, okay, that's
Yeah.
Forest Park.
Interesting.
If I'm going off on weird stuff, just pull me back.
No, not at all. No, I love the nuggets. I mean, I was literally thinking anybody listening who has a conference room table that is never leaving the room because it was built in there,
It's what
raise
it
your
is.
hand. Yeah. Okay, so is your ideal sweet spot member different in LaGrange versus Forest Park?
I don't think that much at all. They're 20 minutes from each other,
Yeah.
so they're not that far. But Forest Park is edgier. It's closer to the
Mhm.
city.
Okay.
It's a little more urban. It's a first floor space. It's a little bit different. Has the same motif, if you will. Same color.
Yeah.
I mean, you would know it's Sweet Spot.
Hmm.
And it's the people. We attract people and we look for people that have some drive in trying to do what they want to do, and they have a dream. They're working at it. They want to really make things happen for themselves, but they also want to. They're kind, they're generous,
Yeah.
they're supportive, they're friendly. And they kind of self-select. I mean, I have people during the tour. You're not if you're not, it's not gonna happen. You're not gonna
Hmm.
like it,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. But I do find in LaGrange, the community is much deeper than
Mm.
Forest Park simply because of the private offices.
Okay,
Pe
interesting. I
People
know.
go
I
in their
always
private office and
in
rarely come out.
yeah, it's sort of a yeah, functional thing that happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, do you have any private offices in LaGrange?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
Okay.
I have a couple of them, and I have a couple of team suites as
Okay.
well. And
Oh,
I've got a couple of
interesting.
team suites here too. Yeah.
How big are your team suites?
Not big, probably 4 to 5 people.
Okay, small
That's
teams.
it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we only have a big, but that's kind of what our market is.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
You're not going to, I get requests from CBRE, we
Yeah.
need 50 people. I'm like,
Right. That's
have
not.
you looked at my
Yeah.
website?
I know. No, I
So,
was curious even in LaGrange because I think of LaGrange as being smaller. So your team suites are occupied?
yes,
Oh, okay. Are they
yes.
usually, or do you ever have trouble filling them?
Mine have, I tend to hold on to people. People come to Sweet Spot and they stay.
They
And
say.
I love it. I mean, Josh, Jules, the people who have teams here and have grown here. Steve you met Steve, I think, Steve Ryan from Rytec.
Totally. He came to a
Yes,
conference. That's right. That's so
yes.
funny.
So
Wait, yes, in
he's,
the article, I think he was sitting next to you. I was like, oh, I know that guy
yeah. So,
in the
so
photo. Yeah.
he's, yeah. So he's been there when it was just Rytec Steve. Now he's all
Funny.
over the country, and has space and grown tremendously and has a big team. And so people I've got great members. I have to tell you that is what kept Sweet Spot alive during COVID.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, we were on our stride, had finally had Forest Park up and going,
Yep.
and had the biggest couple of months we had, and then COVID hit the next month.
And
And
you
it,
have a lot of
whew,
open space in LaGrange, so that was more challenging, I would guess.
yeah, it
Yeah.
it was, but a big part of it, the places were closed
Yep.
too, but I did have the CMRA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I was allowed to stay open. We had essential businesses so they could come in. I just allowed members in, and the
Yep.
rest were, we just lost that business
Yeah.
until we could get it back. But I connected them as much as I could through, online, and we did things that would keep them together, and they stuck with me.
Yeah.
They stuck with Sweet Spot, and that has meant the world to me.
Yeah.
That's what relationships are about.
Yeah. And, and the people in your space, their kids go to school together. It's a right. And I would guess, I mean, I would love to have you give your perspective, like the stickiness of that, because you're so much more connected, like sort of in your life when you're in a suburban community.
You are because, well, first of all, it's Chicago. So you have that Midwest, even though it's
Mhm.
Chicago.
Yes.
You have that. You can't get rid of that. And which is a good thing. And we're neighborhoods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chicago's all about the neighborhood.
Hmm.
So people that I have in my co-working space, a lot of them are people that came from the city, were ready to start their families, or the school came for the schools, came for the train line, commuter train line. So they were used to the dining and entertainment and all kinds of things going on. And then as I saw, it was co-working. They want to
Yeah.
co-work, and they had co-working in the city. So
Hmm.
that
Something they
helped
knew.
me a great deal because I had underestimated the learning curve. I mean, people didn't know co-working at all when we opened Sweet Spot. We were the first near West Suburban co-working
Yeah.
space,
Yep.
and Chicago, and they didn't know us. They didn't know what the hell co-working was. I mean, it worked great for me because the village really didn't know what I was doing either. Of course, they never really understood what I was doing. And they were like, okay, so they're like, yeah, that sounds good. So it wasn't any
Yeah,
kind
I
of
I have
a lot of
podcast
support.
episodes from that period. Like, is suburban co-working a thing? Will it work? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, which seems silly when you look back, hindsight, and of course, the pandemic totally changed all of that.
Yeah.
So, but right, you
Yeah.
were, embarking on who knew when, how that was going to work out.
Yeah. And I had, it was that piece of it. In my head, I'm always thinking, and from the coaching days, test and then invest.
Yeah,
And I should
yeah.
have done more of that,
Hmm.
you
Okay,
know, with that to get a better feel because it took longer to
to
get
ramp
it.
up.
Ooh,
Yes. Hmm.
going through. I'd be looking at the co-working statistics and
Yep.
you got it the first year you should be. And I'm like, oh geez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah. Totally.
That's not happening.
Okay, speaking of the test and invest, I do, and you're sort of like embracing of change. I feel like you're often coming to calls and being like, okay, well, we're testing this. People want more flexible membership, so I'm doing that. And that's,
Yeah.
like, can you talk about sort of some of that transition or things you've tried and like that mindset of, okay, what do people want these days and how should I shift a little bit?
Yeah, I listen to trends. I listen religiously to what everybody's talking about on your mastermind calls. Try to say, okay, how does that apply? But probably the biggest indicator are my members,
Yeah.
sweet spotters. I'm always doing, what do you think about? Or how about this? And they're not afraid to do that with me, to say, I was thinking, what do you think about this? Just had a guy do it the other day. Yeah, don't hold me to it. And I just laugh because that's just what we do. And it's great from that. I mean, I did a day office quite a while ago
Mm-hmm.
and just tried it out. I had a quiet room. I did a quiet room when we opened in LaGrange because I figured, okay, there's people that are going to want to just be quiet. Nobody went in there.
Oh, interesting.
It
Yeah.
had desks. It was set up just like the open shared space,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody wanted to be with the other people. So
Mm-hmm.
they never went in the quiet room. It's like,
Okay.
okay. So that became a huddle room and another office. So yeah, so it worked out. Steve Ryan of
Mm-hmm.
Rytech, my good friend member, is responsible for a lot of our evolution because his company was growing and
Oh,
he didn't want to
interesting.
leave.
Okay.
So it was like he went from a flex desk, skipped dedicated desk completely, and we took that quiet room and turned it into an office for him and then they had the huddle room next to it. Then he moved over. He's in a team suite now, right? Texting the team. It's like we had to change something. He actually went to 2 team suites because he needed a bigger one. For me, what do you need? And can we do it? Can't do everything, but if we can, we will. Or that's kind of fascinating. The thing, I think I've probably said it on a call. I'm doing I can't remember what, and I won't say the name of it because I have a name for it, but I'm not ready to announce.
Okay.
But and one of your guests also is along that line. So I felt a little validated.
Mm.
And the therapy. We
Oh,
get we get therapy people.
yep.
So I'm converting one of the rooms to have,
Mm.
a love seat, a couple of wingback chairs,
Mhm.
a sit desk, but and I'll do it as a premium day office. I'm not doing it as
Yep.
a regular office and just do it
Full-time
by the
office.
hour
Yep.
or by the
Yep.
day
Yep.
or a 6-pack for it. So
Well, right. Exactly. This is what I always feel like you'd be like the day office. So the day office I do want to touch on because you bought it's the bigger room office and you made it an office and you charge for it by the day. Yeah. Is that a
by the
membership or is
day
that
or
just
by
like,
and
yeah,
by the hour. So you can
okay.
get it by the day
Either
or by
one.
the hour. It's not a membership.
Right.
But what I've recently done, again, because people come and I listen to what they're doing, is I've recently done a private workspace membership. So it's basically they don't need to have a dedicated desk or a space.
Mhm.
They just want to be able to have 24/7, 365 access, which all of our members have. They want the flexibility of either doing a day office or
Yep.
one of the meeting rooms. Our members can go to either location on their membership.
Mhm.
So they want all of that, but they just don't want a private office. They're not going to use it.
Mhm.
They're not going to
Yep.
use it.
Yeah.
So I just came up with a membership and we have two actually in testing right now.
This is what I feel like you do really well. Is like you have this flexibility. I feel like sometimes operators can get this like I have these plans in my system and
I
there's an
know.
argument for simplicity, right? And like but you're always like, okay, well, people seem to really want more on-demand flexibility
Yeah.
right now. I'm gonna go with it. And then you'll be like, and it seems to be working.
Yeah, and it takes some time to build up and for
Yeah.
people to understand it. We went from COVID and post-COVID, then you were dealing with all of the inflation. So people were kind of pulling back on their money. They didn't know
Yeah.
what was going to
Yeah.
happen. And then it's now I call it the RTO stage. You know, Companies are not paying for their co-working like they
Yeah.
were. pre-COVID. And
Mm-hmm.
it's unfortunate. I think that might be something they need to rethink, because I do believe that people want to be closer to home. They want the flexibility. They're willing to go into an office and they want to be with other people. But, the company seems to punish them for that.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no politics. And I think people love that.
Totally. No
Go to
politics in
work
the
and there's
co-working
no
space, right?
politics. And you can also be vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
There isn't this pecking order.
Totally.
Nothing,
Right.
nothing about it. You get up there and do things. And that's why we can do the hot seat, for one that we do occasionally, where it's basically a brainstorming session. I got a problem, I go in, and I've done it with Suite Spotte to get their input.
Mm.
And they do it. And we did a company that I had an entrepreneur that was he was working on raising money. He wanted to get his pitch deck together for a business that he's doing. And he presented to a group of our members and they critiqued the hell out of it. And he was like, oh my God, I had
So good.
no idea.
Uh-huh.
So we do that. We do spot on learning, which are just hour-long lunchtime. One of our members or somebody in the community that has a topic that I think will be of interest, and I put them on there and they talk about it. And it's got to be practical and it can't be salesy.
Totally. Okay, that's the other thing I feel like you do like with confidence is you're not overly worried about like community events for the sake of community events. But when you see something like the business plan need, or you just mentioned like the spot on learning or a speaker, like you're very like curated and intentional, and then you'll go in
Then
and
we
make it
do it.
happen.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I love will you share that mindset a little bit? Because I think there's a lot of people listening who are still really focused on like this, sort of forced community because they want this connection that you have because you have this beautiful community, but you've done it in this really natural, like authentic way that's authentic to you and your community. I'd love to hear you talk about that.
two ways. One, it's not our people. They're it's not what they want. We were doing, I would schedule this thing in the evening. People were running out the door just trying to be kind to me, and they'd be running out the door, and I'm like, nobody wants to wait around for this. Knew that. Then we started doing water coolers, and I tried doing them on a monthly basis. And water coolers were basically beer, wine, treats, like starting at 3:45. They've got things they have to do. And you got to respect their hectic lives and respect their schedule. But if you do something in my head, when I see an opportunity, I'll just order some Chinese in. I'll do something, people always show up in the kitchen for food and wine.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'll do that. And I find other people do that. We find donuts from the bakery across the street in Forest Park all the time. I I did Super Tuesday and made a couple of crock pots of homemade soup and brought that in with bowls and all that kind of stuff. Just things that seem like, yeah, let's do this. The thought of putting that on a calendar, I don't have the discipline. Sorry. And I'm more interested in my community hosts and member services coordinators and being my eyes and ears and hearing what's going on so that more ideas come through and taking care of the people and making them feel really good when they come in to the space. So solving problems.
Right, exactly. Well, I think that's sort of like the insight I was thinking when you were talking about that is you're almost creating a problem when you're doing something that you make people feel like, well, I don't have time to do that, but I should do
Yeah.
that, or I want to do it for Sue. Like it's almost
Yeah.
creating a problem versus you're looking for like, what can I solve? Like what
Yeah.
or like how do I delight people? Like what's just, something that
I want them to
works.
smile.
Yeah.
I want them to go, oh, this was good. Thank you. Again,
Yeah.
that's all. I want them to meet the other one.
Hmm.
Especially in Forest Park, I try to do that because they're in their
Because the
offices.
opposites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they know I'll go around. I go, you coming? Stopping by?
Totally.
With that. But
Yeah.
I, if our spaces were bigger, maybe
Yeah.
you'd need to do that. It's not our vibe. I don't want people to feel like they can't come to Sweet Spot because Sue's going to want me to attend this and I don't have time or I don't have, or I don't want to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's that kind of thing.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting, and I love that because I know there are people who are listening who might to sort of take a deep breath and say, okay, I can do it Sue's way.
But then you have people like Jen Luby. She's got it
Oh,
down.
I know. Well, I love that you two like are, you've connected
Oh
and
yeah, she's
mhm.
amazing, but
She's a great
she's got
example of like the party
she's
planner, the yeah.
she oh and Jen, her director. I mean,
Yep.
they have it down. They know how to.
Mhm.
They're God love them.
Right. Like a dynamic duo, like with their own, yes, vibe.
Yeah,
Yep. Uh-huh.
absolutely.
Yes. Shout out to Jen and Dayhouse Coworking about to
Yes.
open in Schaumburg, which is really
Yeah,
exciting.
huge,
Yeah.
huge.
Okay, how do your members find you?
We again test then invest. We from the beginning have, well, first of all, always turn to the members, Tech, right
Yeah.
there. So we worked with them a lot to try to see what they've done our websites over the
Yeah.
year. They've done, what seems to work for us. And their SEO works. I mean, the vast majority of the people that come in to Sweet Spot, how do you, we ask everybody, how did you hear about us? And Google,
Yeah.
Google.
Without
Or
ads. You don't run ads.
I don't run ads.
Yeah.
No ads. They don't, it doesn't seem to work for me. We've
Yeah.
tried. We have tried. Part of it is just getting to that final, we could find out how many people clicked, but how many converted, and we
Yeah.
could never get that right, and I was like, okay, if it's that hard, it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've done other things. Storefront, Forest Park, we're
Makes a
right,
big, yeah.
we're
But
we're
huge
right,
foot
we're
traffic.
right on Madison. We've people see us driving by. Yeah, I was stuck at the light at Circle and Madison and saw we got a big purple awning, Sweet Spot, I went, oh my gosh. And I get a lot of people through that in Forest Park. In LaGrange, we've started putting out a sandwich board just to kind of have another thing to do. We're on the second floor. It's hard and you can't
Yep.
have signage, there's rules, type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. But SEO, yay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tech. They make that
Totally.
happen
And you've been doing that. I mean, you've invested in
almost
that
from the
for a
beginning.
long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about word of mouth?
Word of mouth, definitely, but I haven't been able to really track that.
Really track it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to say, hey, does that work? I've tried email
Hmm.
blast. Nah. I've tried, for others, God love them, it works. But I don't know. It doesn't work for me, and maybe that's just how I'm doing it or what I'm doing. But I'm happy. I'm happy with it. Could be more. Could be more.
So you're pretty involved in the business. How do you use your team members? What are their roles?
They are giving tours. They are, as I mentioned before, eyes and ears. Something goes on. They need to be, there's construction going down in LaGrange on the first floor, and the fire alarm keeps on going off. Yeah. And so she gets them out of the building, and, Diane makes sure they're out. They're part time. Regie in Forest Park, she has set up some of our software that we're trying out we use Greetly and we're just trying some
Oh,
things as well.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
we used that for years.
Okay.
Actually, we were one of the
Early
early
adopters.
adopters. Yeah,
Yeah.
we tend to be early adopter. Did that with Habu
I was going to
as
say,
well.
we have to talk about
Jack, my buddy Jack.
totally. Wait, and Hubu,
Yes.
I asked you this recently. Are they still marketing
Oh
their
yeah.
software? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I
well,
believe they're doing some next phase,
okay, interesting. Okay.
you know. But
Yep. Another shout out to Habu.
yeah,
Sue was an early adopter.
Habu.co.
How did you meet Jack? Did you meet him
Juicy.
at Juicy? Okay.
in LA 100 years ago.
Oh my gosh, seriously.
Yeah. And met him at one of the happy hours.
Okay.
And he says, who are you? What are you doing? This and that. And I'm like, well, I'm actually looking for, co-working
Mhm.
software, find out what's the best way to go. He says, well, we're actually working. And we just started talking. I got my members in. We did, you know, phone calls back and forth, video calls back and forth to go through it. They're mostly outside of the US,
Yeah.
but it's worked for me.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's a lot of others with maybe more bells and whistles. I just don't, it's just not a priority for me,
Yep.
for that. So it seems easy. And if Jack comes
Good.
back and says, look at what I've created now,
Mhm.
we're upgrading. Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Great.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Oh, there is something to be said for if it's not broken, don't fix it. I
Yeah.
even get tempted to make changes and you realize like so much work and disruption.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be really, really worth it. So no, I love, yeah.
And I don't get a lot of complaints from my members
Yeah.
at all. At all. They've got it down. If if something happens, it just doesn't go down. I don't,
It
I get
just
a
works.
handful of times that anything
Hmm.
happened, and I can send a Jack, and he's like
He's on it.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm happy.
You're all in.
I'm happy with it.
Okay. So Greetly, anything else that you use that you love?
AI,
Oh, tell me. Okay.
Chat
Hmm.
GBT. I use
Hmm.
that for so much. You wouldn't think, but I do.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by it. I put things, I do it for strategy, I do it for social media, I do it for, I'm thinking about this, the therapy place I'm set up that
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Like
It
thought partner type work.
came
Yeah.
came up with the name for it, came up
Ooh.
with, oh my God, you can't believe where I could get some furniture that would look cool and
Ah,
with what we currently have.
yep.
I am just like my new best friend, with that. So I do that. That to me, mm, yeah.
So
Yeah.
good. It's
If you're
so
not in
fun.
it, people, that's where you need to start
Yeah.
with
Too
anything.
funny.
Just throw
Yeah.
something in it. Throw something in there.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
love that you're asking it for furniture recommendations. I ask it for all sorts of
Oh
yes,
my
I
God.
mean, but
It's
yeah,
outrageous. Won't even go into the personal stuff I've asked it, but
I know.
it's like,
Well, it's interesting because I was listening to a podcast recently, and there's some data that says like the adoption really is for personal use. That a lot of people are not using it for business yet, which I find interesting because I'm right. I think when you're
that's surprising.
maybe it's because right, we work in this like small business, like you always need more resources than what you have, and having a thought partner
For
is
sure.
so invaluable. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just to have an idea or even a recommendation of
Yeah.
something, show me somewhere to start, even
Hmm.
even with that. And it's grown so much that now
Yeah.
it's finishing, so
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow. And so we just keep on changing with that. And I ask it about market stuff. And do
Yeah.
you think this will fly? What's the spin on it that I need to put on it? And
Mhm.
it's really helpful. I talk to it, I type it, but I talk
Yes,
to it and it
totally.
responds back to,
Yeah.
and it is like a person
Yeah.
sitting there,
And
my
it's
own
so
little
efficient.
coach.
I think, yes, wait,
So fast.
have you ever done the Enneagram?
No,
Yeah, I bet we're similar. A
yeah,
lot of
I
things
have
you
not.
say, I'm like, oh, yes, I know, Sue. I understand.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. I know.
Too funny.
I'm done
Yes,
with that.
love change, love
Oh
efficiency.
yeah. And we do. And
Mhm.
what has not changed is the emphasis that we place on how people feel when they come in. I mean, that's critical. And we get a lot of feedback on it. And a lot of people who have checked in with our competitors and, have said, yeah, this place it's got a good feel. It's got a good feel at both locations. It's got a good
Mhm.
feel. It's just right. I can't put my finger on it and then they'll say things like it's so clean. And I'm like, what are these places like?
Right,
I mean,
right.
God,
You're like,
what?
it is, but that's probably not exactly what you're. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't have that on my list. I think
yeah,
I have my mother to thank for that. But it's like that energy, that
yeah,
welcoming, that
yeah.
that
The
thought.
warmth.
Any of my members that have been around would do a tour, and they do a bang up job with
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And they'll speak up and they'll say hello during a tour. They'll talk with them
Which is gold. I mean, you can't ask for
completely,
more than that. Yeah,
completely.
yeah. Okay, tell me, I mean, you've been doing this for 11 years now. Tell me
Yeah.
a couple of lessons learned, or like if you could go back to early Sue, what would you tell her? Early 2014 Sue.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah, not early
yeah,
Sue. Yeah,
yeah,
that's for
yeah,
a
early.
different conversation, but
Yeah, I was going to, let's not go there. Those stories are not coming out. Although some people who see it may know those, but I think understanding your market as much as you can. I think there's a lot more tools and able to do that now. I mean, like I said, it was tough getting people to understand co-working and why. It's tough to get people to understand value. When it doesn't cost them to work from home
hmm
and not recognize that it does cost them to work from home. And that's a tough sell. So I think really having a more depth in that would have been helpful to me. I could have done without COVID. I could have done with that. A few of those things. I seem like I could go whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. hmm
We get our stride going and then something. But they keep coming back. They come here because they like to. I just did a Instagram post, I think, on Team Mashup. And I'm kind of pushing that because
What's
we're
a
getting
team mashup?
people. A team mashup is where you bring your people. Thank you, Chat GPT.
Uh-huh.
You bring your people. If you have remote people in office people, if
Yep.
you're a leadership, you bring them to Suite Spotte, which I
Yep.
have a few that do this, and they rent the meeting room for a day, and they bring them together, and they go through things, and they're either coming up with new ideas or fresh perspectives, or just trying to get that connection and get it through. I have some that do it once a quarter, some that do it once a month, and big ones, little ones.
Yeah.
And they come back, and they come back, I think, because they feel like when they do, hey, it's kind of like, I don't know, what was the Friends or not Friends? What was the bar one? I can't
Oh,
believe I'm not
cheers.
thinking. Cheers, thank you. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was going, hey,
hmm
that kind of a thing, and that's what it is. And I like that. And the people around like that. And everybody likes to smile at people and welcome. So I think it's just having more confidence. You're okay. I
hmm
do think co-working is going to be around and just be getting better.
Yeah.
I think you got to be willing to evolve. Got to be willing to. I could have done more of that.
Oh,
Probably
that's
would
funny
have.
because I think of you as, like I said, you're always coming to the calls and being like, okay, people want more flexibility. That's what I'm going to give them.
I
Even if
know.
like, and I like my little resistance, thing goes up like, oh, how do you sleep at night with all that variability? And you're like, nope, people just don't want to commit. They want to come, but they like, it's this commitment thing. And you're like, I'm okay with it. It's working.
You got it. You're either going to get something or nothing.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And it's and I may learn something big in the process.
hmm
And my most of my changes is because somebody had wanted this. Now I also know the line where I can't do that.
Right.
We're,
Yeah.
we're not going to do that, guys. With that. But I'm a proponent of why not. I'm
Yeah.
willing to talk.
Yeah, I like
and
it.
see if I can figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Anything exciting on the horizon that isn't in what? Oh, stealth mode. That was the phrase I was looking for. You have some stealth mode projects, but anything you're particularly excited about right now?
Team mashups. I'm promoting team
Yeah, no,
mashup.
I like. I was gonna say I like this
Yeah.
phrase, and I was gonna
Yeah.
ask you. Yes.
It's out there. It's out
Okay.
there.
Okay.
So that's not one I creative, but I think there's a real value to it
Yeah.
that leadership needs to understand. Mid-level leadership. C-suites are not going to do any of this. But, with that, I think that's a big deal. And the whole therapy consulting, you don't always want to be across from a desk and you need that
Mm-hmm.
soft
Yeah.
space. And so I want to provide that, not just for therapy. I think there's a number of
Yeah.
different applications.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I think trying that kind of thing out
Yeah.
is coming up on the forefront.
I like it. This is the,
You
the
know,
perfect business for somebody who likes change and experimenting.
well, I think so, and maybe not a ton of profit, but something that keeps moving forward. There are things I won't do that people have said, "Oh, why don't you do it?" I'm on this side of my career, so I'm not going to franchise. I'm not going
Yeah.
to. You want to buy it and franchise it? Go for at it.
Mm,
Yeah, do it.
it is a
I'm not
great
going to be
name. It's a
doing that.
very
Sweet spot.
franchisable name. Yes.
Sweet spot. How about it? That
Yes,
was a
it's
shower
so
thing.
good.
That was just, sweet spot. It just hit me,
Hmm.
with that. And people who so often will come in and, I'm working and I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. And we're on the tour and we're talking and they're going on about what they're trying to do and what's important. And
Yes.
then they'll go, that's my sweet spot. And they'll look at me because it hits them. And they'll
Yes.
look at me. We just laugh. I hear it
Yes.
all the time. I hear it all the time. And
That's so
that's
funny.
what we are.
Yeah.
That's what we are. We're the sweet
Exactly. You're
spot.
like, we know that because that's what we are. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Sue, thank you for taking the time to do this
Thank
and
you. Thank
sharing your
you.
nuggets.
Painless. Painless.
Good. Okay, I'm glad. Yes, that's our
Very
goal.
much so.
That's
I
our
hope
goal.
I hope I there was something of
There.
relevance to people, to help people out. But I absolutely enjoyed it. Absolutely enjoy what you do. Jamie, this is not because I'm on here to do this, but you can ask any of my members. Our calls are my sacred time.
Oh, good. I know you're
Occasionally
getting
I
your
end
little
up, yeah, occasionally I end up being caught, but I try to make it make it
good.
clear. We've got a great coach in the one of our members, and he's like, you come out of that and you're energized. And I
Aw,
think that's what happens, makes a big difference.
yeah.
So,
It's a beautiful part of our
anyway,
industry for
mhm,
sure.
yeah. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Okay, well, I'll see you. Speaking of, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. No, Wednesday, Thursday.
No, Thursday.
My
Thursday.
days are mixed up. Yes.
This whole
Thursday.
week is funky for me.
I
I
know. I don't
can't
know
I
why
can't
this.
get the right day
Yeah, this
at
week's
all.
yes, it's giving me a run for my money. Okay, well, hopefully
Yeah.
we'll see you Thursday.
Well, and thank you very much again. I really appreciate the opportunity
Yeah,
to
thank
chat.
you, Sue.
All righty. You take care, Jamie.